Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shades of Sasha. If you're new here, take a seat, put a crown on, and welcome to the gang. And if you're ready for the gang, you already know what time it is. What's good, baby? So today's video is all about this look. So since you are here, let's get into it. So obviously we're gonna start off with a bare face. If you are continuing my series of learning makeup, then you know a lot of in step 1 and step 2 when we talk about just the beginning of products I would recommend and what it is about makeup and just kind of removing some of the unnecessary comments I think that are out there about makeup to make it a more enjoyable community for people, then a lot of these steps will be repetitive because I'm very consistent with how I do my face. So when we're talking about the underpainting method, think about it from the perspective of your concealers and your contour are really below and you want to go heavy so that they peek through when you put your foundation on. So that is the major concept of what the underpainting method is. It's almost doing certain things in reverse up until you put the foundation on. So I went in and did the regular concept I usually do, like I've shown in my first 2 videos, which is making sure that I color correct, I prime, I do my brows and all of that. And then for my specific underpainting method, I always really use this Juvia's Place contour concealer shade that they have, pretty much because of how dark it is and the richness of it has a lot of it. For my complexion, I think it just can run a little bit muddy, so for me I make sure that is what I'm using it for, because for some reason, no matter how little I use, it's just never going the way that I need it to. So I really have recognized that this is the best technique I have for this concealer in general. So I just want to really show y'all some up close and personal, really let y'all get in my face, because I think there's a misconception when it comes to makeup and texture. And I've shared with y'all before that I pretty much don't break out unless obviously I am on my cycle, but there are a lot of different textures to people's face, and makeup isn't just gonna remove a pimple you may have. It may hide a little bit, but babe, you're not going outside and you're about to look like you have just nothing at all. So if you're blessed in that way, obviously that's how it's going to look, but I really have a kind of sneak peek and really up close and personal look to just let y'all see the hairs on my face, the whatever my pores are looking like, because like I shared about having PCOS, I really wanted to really share that without just having the lights on my face, so you can really see like this is what makeup and texture looks like. So for the most part, after I have put the foundation on my face, I will go in with this Huda Beauty concealer. And then this is my high intense like concealer. So after I put one under that's a little bit closer to my skin tone, I do go and add a brighter shade, because that is the type of look that I like. I have been sharing and stressing this, and I can't stress it enough. Use what you feel comfortable and beautiful doing. You do not have to follow someone's exact routine to the T, because their face is just not your face. And the reason why your makeup isn't coming out the way theirs is because y'all ain't the same person, and that's just it, right? So for this concealer, I really cannot stress enough to make sure you take the time for it to just sit and like marinate, because it could go bad real quick. So you just want to make sure you're taking the time to just have everything get tacky enough for you to just work that through. And so I don't go ahead and add any more concealers on my face once I've put my foundation on. The only one that I've placed is the actual brightening one from Huda Beauty, and I just go in with powders. So here you see me using the Juvia's Place Bronze 2 palette, and that is where I'm just going in and adding everything. I've also shared that I'm a very oily girl, so for me, I add my T-zone area. And a tip and trick I would share is, if you know you're going to have some type of creasing under your eyes, do this technique where you just go ahead and blend everything out with the same concealer brush before you go and add your powder. Whatever you are setting in place is what you're setting in place. So that means if you're creasing and everything is going crazy underneath without making sure that it's blended properly, that's what you're setting. And so I'm going in with this Fenty Beauty bronzing palette that they have, and I'm just going and doing the same thing. And this is my favorite part of my process, honestly, because I use this Morphe palette as if it's a freaking foundation powder, and I just go in with a fluffy brush as well as my foundation brush, and I blend everything all on my face using that powder just to make sure everything kind of looks as cohesive as possible. I've also shared this before that less is always more. You can always go in and add, but it's very hard to take things off. So I set everything with my Sephora setting spray, and then you see me going in now and just adding my highlights. And I'm gonna just do all of my extra things that I know I love with doing my makeup here. But one of the tips I want to share is actually how I put my lashes on. And in the process of you seeing me doing my mascara and doing my lips, I actually have put the lash glue on my strip lashes, and they are just marinating. You're just gonna make them stay and get tacky as possible before you put them on. So I never just put the lash glue on my strip lashes and then just go ahead and put it right on my face. It's gonna be a hot mess. So just take the time to do any extra things that you need to do. Walk away for like a good 3 to 5 minutes. Trust me, it's okay. They're gonna land on, and they're gonna land on well. And so while I'm doing this Milk mascara, as a person that doesn't really have much like length to their lashes, I actually really love it. So I'm going in with this NARS, the same palette that I use for my blush, the NARS blush. I basically opened that palette because it has a mirror and I'm looking down. So I put that palette under my chin and I'm looking down, as you're seeing in this video, and that is how I'm putting my lashes on. And because you're doing it that way, it allows for the lashes to, in my opinion, just sit a little bit more perfectly, rather than just trying to directly straightforward look into a mirror and do it that way. And here is kind of like the reveal in what I'm saying, where there's textures on my skin, where obviously I have moles, I have anything you could think of with hair because of my PCOS, and that is what makeup is. And I just really wanted to make sure that everyone is comfortable seeing that perspective as well.